Okay, so now we will take a closer look at the Vox AV15. So as you can see, there's the preamp circuit is here. There's actually 8 channels, so it's all analog. There's 8 circuits inside, so there's 2 clean, 2 crunch, 2 overdrive and 2 high gain. Then you got your standard gain knob, 3 EQ, volume and power. So your power level is like adjust the wattage on the amp. So it's good if you want to push the tube to like a natural tube saturation at lower volumes. So it's very good for home and studio use. Yeah.
What about this tube?
Yeah, it's actually
here, right?
a 12AX7 in a preamp section. So it works like any tube would do. So it gives you that warm tube sound. Yeah. So as you can see, it's lit blue and there's like 4 switches here to control. I'll talk about that later. Yeah. So we have effects here. You want to tell us more about the effects?
Right, the effects here, actually we have 3 main effects that we can use. Firstly is the modulation, secondly will be the delay, and third will be the reverb. So these 3 effects, how do you want to adjust it? When you want to make adjustments, you can hold on to here and you can do the adjustments on the effects knob here. So it will set the right amount of effect that you will need. Once you're done, just click it and you will save.
Okay, then you also got your aux in, phones out, and now here down to the switches. So some of you may be confused. So the first section, the preamp section, is quite simple. It's simply just a bright on and off, and the second switch is just a fat on and off. So if you want like a brighter tone, more bitey, more clearer, cut through, just turn on the bright switch. You want like a thicker, fatter sound to fill up the room, just turn on the fat switch. So this one, many people actually ask, what is this for? So the bias is actually like to change something in a tube. So it basically switches the tube to vintage some voicing and modern voicing. So see which one you prefer. Then the reactor basically kind of switches the tubes to have a natural compression. So if you want like a looser, more dynamic kind of tone, or you want a tighter, more fuller kind of sound, you just turn the reactor. Okay.
Right, and the AV15 we have over here, other than all the cool functions it already has, it is also fitted with an 8-inch speaker, as well as it has 15 watts of power inside it.
Yeah.
Yep, and you can further adjust it with the power level. So the maximum you can go up to is 15 watts.
Okay, so now we're gonna let you listen to some of the Vox AV15 clean tone. So you can hear it's a very kind of Fender clean kind of tone, a bit bass, a bit bassy, good for jazz, good for blues.
Very fat tone,
Yeah. And a bit of reverb, nice clean reverb. Yeah. And then the gain and all is slightly below 12 o'clock, so get more headroom. If you turn up the gain, you get a little bit more kind of break up. Yeah. Then now we'll switch to the crunch tone. Let you hear how it sounds like. Okay. So this is the crunch tone. Then it's actually kind of modeled after the Vox kind of tone, a bit more crunch, top boost kind of sound.
Try adding some modulation to that.
Okay. It's a chorus actually, modulation, chorus, the same thing. Yeah, so it's a nice reverb with nice modulation. You can
Nice
actually
modulation,
combine. Yeah, you can actually combine all three of the effects together. Currently we are on the vintage setting, so play more vintage stuff for you to listen. Yeah. Then I'll switch to a more high gain guitar with humbuckers. Then you can demo the overdrive and the high gain.
Right. Okay, now we'll demo more of the higher gain stuff. So let's start with the OD1 first. And for this, I'll be adding some slapback delay and just a bit of reverb to it as well. See, it's much higher gain than the previous models that Aaron has shown us earlier. So actually there's not even the highest gain you can get. There's actually a high gain channel on top of that. So
let's hear some high gain.
The high gain 1, and that's not even the highest yet. There's actually a high gain 2 as well. As you can see, it's much tighter than the OD1 that we have used, and there's a much more gain pack into it as well, and you can hear there's a bit more compression due to the high gain nature as well.
Yeah, so the OD1 is actually kind of modeled after the 70s 80s Marshall rock tone. The high gain most probably after the rectifier Mesa Boogie.
It felt like that to me.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna try and play around with the switches while Sylvester plays some guitar.
Yeah, so the switches you will be playing more with is the bias switch, the bright switch, and the fat switch, as well as the reactor switch. So you can hear there's a slight difference here and there.
Okay, so now I'm gonna play the bright switch. Yeah, so this is off.
Alright.
It's on.
Yeah, there's a subtle change in the brightness of it. It's there, but you can't really feel it, but you can hear that it's much brighter than before.
Okay, now we try the fat switch. Now it's off. On.
Yeah, it feels like there's more saturation when the fat switch is on.
Okay, let's try the bias. So now it's on the vintage setting.
Vintage.
Now the modern setting. Can hear it's a little bit softer, but then there's a little bit more kind of like a scoop kind of sound. Good for modern music.
Yeah.
Okay, then now I'll try the reactor. So now it's under the more dynamic one, the less compressed one. Now more compressed.
First one, I could hear my palm mutes much clearer, and the second one is slightly more
It's a more even kind of, yeah, the 6 strings sound are more even. Yeah.
Right, so
This
for the most part, we covered mostly all of what the AV15 can currently do. So if you want to find out more about what it can do, or to try the amp out for yourself, you can head on to our store.
Yeah, there's also another AV30 and an AV60. So basically, it's the same thing, but then you get 2 channels and then 2 tubes as well. So this is one preamp tube. The 30 and the 60 has 2 preamp tubes. prices for these are actually relatively low. It's kind of like a home studio kind of amp, so it's a very good value for money amplifier, so you can come down and test it out.
Right, so there you go, the Vox AV15.